understand who the fuck I am on this US land. I let my hair grow, then I cut it off. Put a couple lines in it, cause you know I'm never coming soft. I do a lot of shows and I get a lot of stares. I got a lot of haters, but really who cares?
Welcome everybody to episode 10 of Mitch, Please. Man, I can't believe we have made it this far, but we are officially in the double digits, and man, it's in the triple digits outside. It's so freaking hot. I'll tell you guys right now, I'm sitting here in a car with the windows up, no AC. I'm sweating like a maniac. I'm gonna need a shower after this intro, no doubt about it. But you know what? All the sweat, all the time, everything I've done for this show so far, it's all been worth it because I love this show, and I love everybody that has, you guessed it, gave us a click and continues to give us a click and gives us a share and a like and a comment and all that fun stuff. I really appreciate everybody. A few people I want to mention specifically here that have helped make these last 10 episodes possible. First of all, Steven West Ghost of West Ghost Designs, a guy that a lot of people in NorCal Wrestling use for their graphics and their flyers. The guy put together the Mitch Please logo, and he's a very talented individual. He can do anything, and give him a like at West Ghost Designs on Facebook. Also, my first guest on Mitch Please, one of my best friends, Mike Shupe, another guy that can do some amazing graphic and flyer design work, also can film, put together a video, edit, and also photography. Check him out at Shuperstar Productions. As you see right now, the customized graphic for this show, episode 10, was helped put together by Mike Shupe and Shuperstar Productions, so shout out to him. And also, Elizabeth Graham is a wonderful woman that has helped me upload a lot of these shows, and you can give her a like on Facebook at Elizabeth Graham Photo. She also does photography. She does an amazing job. She's done a lot of work for the Chico comedy scene. So, these people have been just amazing. And also, thank you to all my guests. I mean, from Mike Shupe to Robyn Valentine, Don Ashby, Zack Reeb, Thunder Rosa, Jerm Leather, Rachel Myles, Drake Nelson Sin, and my nephew Zachary, my other nephew Jackson, who will be on this show later on, and then my third nephew Ginger Daniels. Got to give it up for him. Love that little guy. But guys, my guest this week will be the Classic Connection, Levi Shapiro, Buddy Royal, one of the best tag teams on the planet, and we're going to get to their interview here later on. But first, I want to talk a little bit about PCW Pandemonium. I was attending the event live last weekend, and it was a great show. It really was. It was the highlight of the night, of course, was Sin, our guest on episode 9, going on and becoming the PCW Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. That was exciting. The whole crowd went crazy for it. That guy deserved it, man. He really proved himself in PCW. And now that he's the champion, now he's got to prove himself all over again. So, best wishes to Sin. Jody Kristofferson and Adam Thornton still had an incredible match. Those guys are great, obviously, two of the best. And the Classic Connection, they did their thing with Chico Lopez and Frost. That was a great tag match. Also, got to give credit to JJ King, man. He's the new Inter-California champion. I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't always been the biggest fan of JJ King over the years, but I've noticed that he's really taken this character and really been running with it, and he's doing a great job with this creepy, nasty, disgusting kind of character. It's really working for him. So props to JJ King and to Rick Luxury for their great match as well at Pandemonium, and I look forward to seeing what PCW has to do and what they do moving forward here in the future. So you can check them out at pcw-wrestling.com. You can follow them on Twitter at PCW since 1999, and of course Pro Championship Wrestling on Facebook. So, alright guys, well what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk now about WWE Battleground. I sat down with my 7-year-old nephew, Jackson, and, just wanted to get his perspective because WWE nowadays is really based towards children. It really is. So it was kind of cool to get a kid's point of view of the show. So I offer my insight on the WWE Battleground event, and then you'll also hear what Jackson has to say. So we're going to go ahead and cut over to that right now. So I reviewed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with my 9-year-old nephew, Zachary. I figured, hey, WWE Battleground, let's go ahead and bring in my 7-year-old nephew, Jackson, and let's talk about the show. Jackson, speaking of the show, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to Mitch, Please.
What's up?
What's going on? Hey, so, as always, man, it's me and you and your dad, GDD, and your mom, and we always sit back and we watch wrestling and we have a great time. And this time, it was WWE Battleground, and it was a pretty good show. I mean, were you pretty excited for the show?
Yeah.
All right. You made a little drawing that said Battleground, which we'll probably post on the Mitch Please Facebook. You made a video promoting Mitch Please, man. I got to say thank you for that. And let's get started with that first match, man. It was a tag team divas match. Actually, not divas. Got to say women's. A women's tag team match. It was, it was Charlotte and it was Dana Brooke against Sasha Banks and a partner. Now, before Bayley came out, which was I was real excited about, who did you think the tag partner was going to be?
Bayley.
You knew it was going to be Bayley? Now, you've seen her wrestle before, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of Bayley?
She's cool.
Yeah, I think she's pretty cool. She's from California, of course. I mean, she put a lot of years in training and performing here in California, and you know, she's a great character. I was real happy to see her come out there, and the crowd gave her a huge reaction, and it was a pretty good little tag match. Did you like the match? Were you happy that Bayley and Sasha won, Jackson?
Yeah.
For sure. And let's see here. What happened after that? We had the New Day come out? You like the New Day, right? You do their dance and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the New Day and the Wyatt family. Did you watch that match? I think we were in the pool.
Yeah, we were in the pool.
We were in the pool. I was throwing you around. What's your off-topic question here? But I got to ask you, what's your favorite wrestling move that I throw on you into the pool?
Military press.
The military press. Good choice, man. I got to give you some knucks on that. Good choice. The military press is a fun one. I send you flying. But anyways, we missed actually most of the Wyatt and the New Day match. But you know, I guess the Wyatts went over. I mean, it is what it is. They're breaking up. The New Day's staying together. They've had those tag belts for, I mean, just forever. So we'll see what happens with that. Going off memory here, match number 3, I believe, was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now, I got to say, man, I thought that was a great match. Great build-up. Ooh, excuse me. Great build-up for that. You know, two best friends that wrestled all over the world together end up in WWE and so on and so forth. It was a good match. It was a really good match. Did you enjoy the match?
Yeah.
All right, and were you happy Sami Zayn won?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that landing on his shoulder was nasty.
Oh, yeah, when he did the backflip press to the outside, and, yeah, he caught his shoulder on Kevin Owens and on the apron, man. That looked pretty gnarly. And anything else about the match stand out to you?
I don't know.
Yeah, nothing to... I mean, they did a lot of cool moves, you know. They were going all over the place, and, you know, cool ending with Sami Zayn giving him 2 haluva kicks. Cool moment. Now, those guys are staying on Raw together, so do you think this is their last match they're having?
No, I bet there's going to be a bunch more to come.
I think so. They've wrestled a bunch, and it's pretty... it's been done to death, but I think they're going to go to SummerSlam and wrestle in a cage match. That's just what I'm predicting, but we'll see how that goes. All right, and then we went right into, I believe it was the United States Championship match. Rusev and Lana against Zack Ryder, and Rusev won with the accolade. What'd you think of that match?
Pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, Zack Ryder came out dressed all red, white, and blue, and you know, did his thing, and Lana looked amazing in the white, and Rusev was just too much for Zack Ryder, and then Mojo Rawley came out, you know, and the Hype Brothers are looks like they're together on SmackDown. That should be interesting. Are you familiar with the Hype Brothers, Jackson?
No.
No? Well, you'll get familiar, man. You'll get hyped, and you'll see what they're all about. And then on the other side, we had the Intercontinental Championship on the line. We had The Miz defending against Darren Young and Bob Backlund. It was kind of a slow, boring match at the start. I think everybody actually left the room, and I was watching it by myself, and it was kind of just nothing special. But then at the end, with Bob Backlund getting involved and Maurice getting involved, and it was pretty entertaining ending. I like that they didn't have Darren Young lose. They keep him going on Raw. Miz over on SmackDown with the IC title. And that's that. And then we had the big six-man tag match. John Cena, Enzo, and Cass. What do you think of those guys?
Cool.
Yeah? You like their catchphrase? Mm-hmm. How does it go?
How you doing?
That's one of them, no doubt. What about the other one?
Bada boom, realest guys in the room. How you doing?
And how about the word soft? How do you spell that?
SAWFT, soft.
Nice, dude, nice. Heck yeah, man. No, it was a good match, with the club. Your mom always makes fun of AJ Styles and his hair, so I thought
Sally.
yeah, she calls him Sally or Soccer Mom, and then the whole crowd was chanting Soccer Mom, so you guys were getting a good kick out of that. It was pretty funny. Did you think that was funny, the Soccer Mom chant? Mm-hmm. Cool, man. Did you like the match? Were you happy John Cena won?
Yeah.
Because you're a big John Cena fan, right? You love Cena? And he got the big win with the attitude adjustment off the top. And that was the six-man. And then my favorite part of the night was the highlight reel with Chris Jericho and, of course, the returning Randy Orton. What do you think of Chris Jericho, first off?
Weird.
You think he's
that
weird?
That walk is so weird.
Yeah, he's definitely different, and he's established a kind of a very different and weird character. It's entertaining. I love it, and of course Randy Orton coming back. I know you're excited for that. You like Randy Orton? Mm-hmm. What'd you think? The RKO out of nowhere. I mean, did you see it coming?
No, but I gotta tell you something from WrestleMania 31.
Okay, let's talk about it.
When I saw Randy Orton pretend to get in the curb stomp position, then make it an RKO, I flipped out.
Yeah, when he launched Seth Rollins up in the air and hit the RKO, I thought that was the coolest RKO ever. Yeah, no, I was there live, dude. I was in the 10th row, you know that. And, that was awesome. Yeah, Jericho and Orton were hilarious together, especially the Orton kind of took a shot at Brock in the UFC allegations with the testing that Brock supposedly failed. I don't know how that's supposed to be. I like what Nate Diaz says, but but moving forward here, main event, The Shield, going at it, all three members. You got the returning Roman Reigns, you got Seth Rollins, you got Dean Ambrose, and who did you want to win?
Dean Ambrose, but he won.
Yeah, he did win. You called it, man. I said, who you picking? And you said Dean Ambrose. Your dad said Dean Ambrose. Your mom, she's like, I don't like it, but Seth Rollins is probably going to win. And then I said, well, Roman Reigns might get it if they do something cool with him, but they're never going to do nothing cool with Roman Reigns.
But first you went for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I thought Seth Rollins was the predictable answer for who was going to win. I was surprised Dean Ambrose won. I thought they were just going to keep the title on him for a little bit, but they're going to keep it on him, and he's going to keep rolling. And are you a Dean Ambrose fan?
Yeah.
What do you think's the coolest thing that he does?
The double axe hammer.
The double axe, the big elbow off the top?
No.
Or no, the double axe handle off the top?
Yeah.
I gotcha. For sure. Yeah, the double axe handle has a lineage all the way back to 1965. Did you know that?
No.
I don't even know if that's true. I'm just making stuff up. Just having a good time, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show here, Jackson, and talking about this show with me, man. It's always a good time watching wrestling with you. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
John Cena and Sally.
AJ Styles?
Yeah.
Man, I was hoping you were going to say Mitch Valentine. What the heck? I set you up for it.
Mitch Valentine.
There we go.
And don't forget MPT.
MPT's darn good. He's darn good. Thanks for coming on the show, Jackson.
Okay.
Thank you, Jackson, for helping me out with that WWE Battleground reaction. And I know we forgot to mention Becky Lynch versus Natalya. That was my fault. I didn't have any notes in front of me. I never do. And I just want to say briefly, that was a good match, and it was great to see Natalya get a big win on a big show. So, guys, moving forward with WWE, and the draft and everything, as I record this, Raw has not aired, but I'm just very curious to see where they go. You know, they got the WWE Championship now on SmackDown, and Raw's got the Women's Championship and the Tag Team Championship. So my question is, what are they doing with those championships? Are they going to have those guys, those champions, perform on both shows? Are they going to have a new tag champ and women's champ on SmackDown and a world heavyweight champ on Raw? I mean, what are they going to do? By the time you guys hear this, perhaps on Raw this evening, as I record this, we will have those answers. But, you know, it's just, there's just a lot of questions, you know, and going back to Bayley's debut at Battleground, you know, now I'm reading today that was a one-off, so she's back to NXT, which, you know, that is what it is. I know they got that big NXT TakeOver special, NXT Brooklyn, coming up, so they're keeping her for that to wrestle Asuka. I think we've got Joe and Nakamura coming up, so they've got some exciting stuff coming up, and of course I will be talking about it on this show, and I appreciate everybody, again, who's listening, who's following us on Facebook.com/Mitch Please Podcast, YouTube.com/The Mitch Valentine. You can find all the episodes of this show on those select sites. So please check that stuff out, guys. Please give us a share, give us a like, comment, all that stuff. It's really appreciated. And moving forward here, we're going to talk right now with the Classic Connection, Buddy Royal, Levi Shapiro. We had a great conversation before PCW Pandemonium. We sat back and we just talked about what the Classic Connection is doing, how they, you know, began, and what they've done, and what they've accomplished, and what they will, what they want to accomplish here in the future. So we're going to cut over to that interview. How about right now? Episode 10 of Mitch Please. I'm sitting here with two men. I'm going to do two men at the same time for the very first time. I've got what I consider one of the greatest tag teams on the planet, one of the greatest tag teams I've ever seen. Buddy Royal, Levi Shapiro, the Classic Connection. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having me, Mitch. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, much appreciated, man. It's a pleasure to be on. Mitch, please.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a little different here, guys, because like I said, I've never done two men at the same time.
Allegedly.
So we'll see how this rolls here, guys. I'll start with you, buddy. I remember you coming here to PCW. I met you in December of 2013. You trained with Vendetta Pro Wrestling. You showed up here, man. We're sitting here right now at the Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah.
How does this building, how do you like this building?
I mean, honestly, bro, I love this building. Like, PCW is one of the first places that ever booked me outside of my home territory of Vendetta Pro. So this place I hold dear in my heart. And again, like PCW gave me my start here and my foot in the door, and got my foot in the door with tag team wrestling especially. So, I mean, I love this place.
Yeah, I was saying last week on the show, man, that Orville Municipal Auditorium just kind of fits your guys' gimmick. Levi Shapiro, man, you came through PCW a little after. I think you came in with Buddy as debuting at the Classic Connection here at the Municipal Auditorium, man. How do you like this building?
I love it, man. Like you said, it fits the gimmick, fits the loop. I love coming down to small towns like this. They always get the wrestling more than anywhere else, you know. And I've known about PCW's rich history since when I started, you know. A lot of people that I came up with have put in a lot of time and effort in PCW. So it's cool that I get to kind of write my own history as well, you know?
Definitely, man. I've actually known you, Levi, longer than Buddy, man. I remember, I think, beer brawl days with you, bro. I mean, we've known each other for a while. And so how did you guys, I'm gonna ask you first, Levi, and then I'll come over here to Buddy. How did you guys come up with this idea to team up and form the Classic Connection?
Well, you know, it's kind of an interesting event where I was going through a little pivotal point in my career when I was kind of focusing on what character I wanted to display, where I was going. I was going a lot more classic, a lot more old school with the towel. You know, I mean, you remember me. I used to have the long beard, the hair. I used to tag team with the Riv, you know, and we had the, like, random gear. None of it was really making any sense, you know, so when I kind of came into my own with this, I was doing some work with Vendetta Pro, and Sledge was actually still working with the company at that time. And he had what was it? It's like a sponsor show for his old job.
Yeah, Ernie Ball.
Yeah, so he worked at Ernie Ball Guitars,
right.
And they had a safety appreciation day where Sledge got a couple guys to come and work. You know, so I was living at the Victory Warehouse at the time. So then me and the Twins and AJ Kirsch drove down, and they needed a tag team to work with the Twins. You know, and Billy was there, right?
Yeah, that's actually not the first time we tagged though. Like, no, like that was the second time we tagged. Like, I think that was the first time we actually made that. Okay, that was the first time we tagged together and we kind of like established, felt the old school thing. You're right though. That was the first time we tagged as two tag team together. Okay. But a week before that show in Santa Cruz, that's when I first met Levi, and we were in a 6-man tag. It was me. Yeah, it was 8-man tag. It was me, Levi, Perry Von Vicious, and Bobby Hart. And that was the first time I met him. And when we met each other, we noticed we had the same gear. Like I had tights, the Trace knee pads. I had a towel with a Letterman jacket. So like we looked just alike. And then Billy Blade, the promoter and my trainer was at the time was like, hey, you guys should tag. It'd be awesome if you guys tag together. You guys would be a good tag team. Then the following Tuesday, Sledge had a show. Right. We went together, like, hey, we should tag together. We went against the Twins, and basically the rest is history.
Yep. And this was like 2013, 2014?
2013, I think, yeah. Because it was right after I debuted. Like, I debuted June. No, I debuted in April. And then, like, I got a lot of bookings that summer. I remember, like, when I first kind of started hitting the loop hard. And then I remember that June was when I first met Levi.
Gotcha. And Levi, you started when did you start?
August 2009 was my debut.
Gotcha. So
the Riz Memorial Show, actually. Bless him.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I've seen that DVD of that show, man. No, that was an incredible show. So Levi's been around for a couple years. You guys meet. You found chemistry, I'm guessing, right away. You had the matching gear. So.
Although a funny story is like when I first met Levi, like to pass the test of like if I was in or not with the boys and stuff. Him and Perry go like, all right, kid, you got a towel, got the old school look going, bro. Okay, who's your favorite workers? Tell me your top 3 favorite workers. And I was all like, Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair, and Bret Hart. And he's all right, kid, you're good.
I remember I said, where you from?
Oh, yeah, I was like, where do you bill yourself from? I was all, I said Minneapolis, but I think about going from St. Paul, Minnesota. And then he goes, you're good, kid. You're good. You're sold.
You guys are both super old school wrestling fans, man. That's the kind of wrestling you guys like. I started watching in 2000, dude. I'm more of I started watching the sports entertainment, the Attitude Era. That was kind of my thing. But going back, you guys are obviously influenced by that old 80s, 70s wrestling style. So, classic connection, man. Who came up with the name? Who came up with the gimmick?
The name, honestly, you get credit, Billy Blade, man. Yeah. Billy Blade's like, you guys are kind of like classic, like connection, classic connection.
It was at training when I was training when I was training and right after training I was taking my boots off and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna put you and Levi together. I liked how you guys tagged that last show, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking about maybe we can do an old school thing, and I was all, maybe we could be like the classics or something like that. And he goes, no, that's too plain. He goes, need something else. And he was like, what, like classic connection? And I was like, that does sound kind of cool, and it kind of stuck from there.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Seems like 2015 is when you guys really started to blow up and started winning tag belts all over the place. But you started together in 2013, 2014. Man, how were those first couple years together? Were you guys traveling together?
You know what happened? Actually, we got a little bump in the road because we tagged together, and then that fall, Levi broke his arm.
Mm-hmm. Remember that.
And you know what, though? That kind of was a blessing in disguise, though, I felt. Like, it made us, because Levi was down for a couple months, I hit it hard, but I was always staying in contact with Levi. And I don't know, for some reason, I always knew, like, at the time when I came out, there's a lot of young upstarts that came with me. I always felt like I would shine better in a tag. My personality would come out more in a tag. And I felt like the old school gimmick would really get out. At the time, no one was really doing that old school stuff.
Before the revival
or anything like that, yeah. So,
right. But how's that make you guys feel? Sorry to cut you off, but the revival's kind of doing not a similar gimmick, but there's definitely some feelings of I see it, that old school kind of gimmick that you guys do.
Yeah. Well, first off, we can't go out there and say they stole anything from us because everything Classic Connection has already happened. Yeah. It's a tribute to way back when. Now, to say, it's like I was kind of referenced the movie of like Beyond the Mat. You see Mike Modest hit the move. Jim Cornette goes, oh man, it's a cool move. You kids should do that. Right? Not that they said anything. It's just you see something and people use it. Now, for the big show to have the same idea, right? And not to say they stole it, but they have the same idea, similar minds, everything's through, and then they're able to produce it. They have more leeway because more people see it, more people do that. Yeah. Not to say that we haven't done it for this long. More people know the revival because it's worldwide known media rather than the ways we get out a lot of times.
It sucks sometimes because perception's reality, and they have more eyes on them, obviously, so they are going to be seen as they have the gimmick first. It's a little refreshing sometimes. Like when I remember, like as far as like the West Coast scene, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, those guys are doing the Classic Connection thing," so that makes you feel good a little bit. But at the same time, like I think now I take it as a challenge. Like it pushes me to be different. Like even though we're both kind of doing the old school thing, how can I be slightly different, more old school, or doing something different than what they're doing right now? So
it's hard to have an original idea in pro
wrestling.
It
is, bro. It is.
Everything's been done, and I'll tell you what, man. Like it was the Reno Scum, it was the Suburban Commandos. Carlos and Dutra had a thing going, but really that was the tag division in NorCal wrestling. Those were the most well-known guys. I feel bad if I left anybody out, but then here you guys come and you guys start getting booked everywhere, man, and winning everybody's tag belts. And what was the first? What were the first tag team championships you guys won? I'll start with you, buddy.
I'll give credit immediately. I would say the guy that really started pushing us hard, because Levi's arm was still broken, and even when he was barely coming back, and he let Marcus Mack know that he was coming back, and Marcus Mack immediately put the APW, put the rocket ship behind us, and gave us the opportunity to be APW tag team champions, and APW really, we have to thank them a lot because they were kind of the launching point of really getting us in NorCal and really establishing us like a main tag team there.
And I got to ask you, Levi, because you have a couple more years experience, and buddy, APW, man. It's like it's the it's the golden child of NorCal wrestling to be there and for them to have that faith in you guys. Man, how'd that feel for the APW, Marcus Mack, and all those guys to say, "I want you to have my tag belts"?
Well, it felt good, man. It felt good to kind of give something back. I was in the actual last the class of APW, the boot camp. I was in the final class when Roland passed. He gave me a scholarship to the camp, which not a lot of people get. There's only a few people that have, and I feel pretty honored about that. So to still help and carry on the legacy of APW, even to this day, Marcus Mack has done great things and really kind of like catapulted APW from the little tiny garage to these star-studded all-star shows, almost dream matches. He's really gone out there, and for the Class Connection to be almost top of the list with the tag team division is awesome. Guys like Reno Scum, and bringing in all sorts of good tag teams, Keepers of the Faith, Los Luchas. It's an interesting point because now California wrestling is starting to get a little bit more recognition, and I think that APW, if they keep on the path, they can help, and I'm happy to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think places like APW and PCW are definitely we would consider our home,
staples.
Our staples. Like APW, PCW, those are our homes. Like we consider that's where we got our chops.
The two companies that definitely put the belts on us. They thought that we can help and we can get there, and then I think that me and Buddy really kind of coming out here working with a young guy named Will Roberts and his tag partner. I think our 2 out of 3 falls match helped us unify more as a team, and it helped Will Roberts kind of find that little Ricky Morton in him, and see what he's doing now with the heavyweight title.
No, I want to definitely talk about the Classic Connection and the Real Dealaz and the great matches you guys have had here at the Municipal Auditorium. But so that first APW tag title run, was Donovan Troy working with you guys right away, or was that something that kind of came down the line?
Kind of evolved naturally, I want to say. We didn't have him at first. And then I think around the second or third time we defended the belts, we kind of progressed and kind of made him part of the unit. So,
how do you think you fit in with your guys' gimmick, Levi?
How does Donovan?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I always joke with Donovan about this, but the Classic Connection at this moment has upwards of 5+ managers all over the loop.
Definitely.
Anywhere we go in different spots, so it's like Donovan's not the official because we don't really think we have an official one, right? But what Donovan does bring to the table is a nice added twist, especially lately. He's going all more makeup, with Adrian Street and stuff. And like when he was with you with the boy toy, he had the racket,
Yeah.
Definitely a little rough starts, I think, in the beginning, but he's kind of slowly finding himself into his own. And I think when we come out here at PCW, it's a nice blend with, he's kind of got the Heenan family thing going on.
Yeah, well, it's tough, I'll tell you, because I was one of the first guys to work with Donovan, and then he started working with everybody, and it was great for me. I think it was great for Donovan, and I think sometimes when you work with Donovan, it's a hit or miss because he'll either take all your limelight, and he doesn't mean to do that. He's just naturally charismatic and just is a show stealer. But with you guys have been one of the few people that I've seen that that doesn't happen. He's there, he's doing his thing, but you guys are still doing your thing. It's been entertaining to watch. So you guys won the APW tag team titles, and then what was it, like the next night you guys won the PCW tag team titles?
Basically, yeah, man. It kind of happened really quick. Like it was, it's funny. I already mentioned like all these belts. We had like, honestly, like bro, like we started tagging, and then one morning I woke up and there was like 5 belts in my room. Like, I'm not trying to be braggadocious or anything, but it just happened so fast. Like it happened really, really fast.
And to kind of touch, because like you said, I came in, I cut my teeth tag team wrestling with the Suburban Commandos. It was like kind of a thing for me to want to get to a point to wrestle the Scum. You know what I mean? You're right. The Scum, the Suburban Commandos, and even to an extent, you put Mike Hayashi and Mike Reigns, credible tag team, Dutra and Matt Carlos. There's a lot of tag teams that happen, but the 2 tag teams that were central were the Suburban Commandos and the Reno Scum.
Yeah.
And what we decided was we needed to make it not a top 2, a top 3. And that's what it is today, and I'm very honored for that.
Yeah.
When people think of top tag teams, they think Reno Scum, Suburban Commandos / Stoner Brothers now, and the Classic Connection.
Yeah, honestly, that's just honoring those guys. Like, I remember the trip. Like when we went out, I'd say when we really started hitting our show, we went out to Texas and we went for a tag tournament out there, and we kind of made goals like because it's a long trip. It's like 20 hours driving, and we made goals like, okay, we listed who the top tag teams in America, who the top tag teams in our area, and we're like, okay, these are our goals. We want to be like these guys. And being seen in the same light as Suburban Commandos and Reno Scum, that was our number one goal. And now we're trying to move beyond that. But those guys are seriously, those guys have taught us a lot. In and out of the ring, they've taught us a lot and had a lot to do with our success.
Another team we haven't mentioned, I feel bad, I want to mention the Honor Society, Frost and Samurai. And I got to be honest with you guys, this might get me some heat, but I've got a little bit of that already, so it'll be all right. Frost and Samurai were set to win those PCW tag team titles the night that you guys won them. And I remember going to Rick, man, and I was just like, no. I was like, the Classic Connection need those titles. They just fit it. It works with the Donovan thing, everything else. And then you guys just prove, man. You said you've been in Texas, man. I think you guys went to New Mexico. You guys have been all over the country.
Texas, New Mexico, Florida, Arizona, right? Yeah. And freaking Tennessee, brother.
Tennessee. That was fun. Last year we were in Tennessee. That was really cool because we went out to wrestle for NWA Mid-South, and like that crowd out there and those fans totally ate it up. They got the gimmick. They love classic wrestling. They got classic wrestling. They saw us and they just ate it up. It was awesome.
I definitely see you guys. In the South, I could just imagine how cool. Over the gimmick is down there, man. And so what were some of the standout moments traveling around the country outside of California? I'll start with you, Levi. Some of the most memorable times you guys have had so far.
To stay on point with the Tennessee thing, I remember this is right after, Cauliflower Alley, huge supporters, Cauliflower Alley. Anybody that's involved with wrestling should become a member today. Fantastic stuff. You get to meet all sort of your legends. You get to kind of be part of the brotherhood, the Ring of Friendship. So through that's how we got to Texas. That's how we got to Tennessee. And we're out in Tennessee, man. We won the Cauliflower Alley Strut-Off Championships, the Jackie Fargo, Larry Sweeney, Texarkana Open Invitational Strut-Off Champions. And so we're out there in Tennessee, and we're doing the gimmick, and we're strutting. And this fucking old lady, excuse me if I can.
You're fine.
The old lady, it's like, you can't strut. It's like, what do you mean I'm a champion? I got a trophy. You can't strut for shit. You ain't Jackie Fargo. You can't strut.
I seen Jackie Fargo strut. I seen him strut. You ain't no Jackie Fargo. Yeah. This is an old lady, straight up. It was cool.
That's awesome, man. And also a real well-known promotion here in California is Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Yeah.
I remember being down there. My grandma actually lives a mile from that venue.
Oh, that's cool. I remember telling us.
So that's a great place. You guys are starting to really do some things down there.
Man, yeah, they're starting to give us some real national attention, and I think that's the place that's really going to be another launching pad for us to get us more into mainstream, talk and create some buzz for us, to get out, of California, even across the pond, So
yeah, super respects up to Dave Marquez, man. He's been in LA for so long, and just to work for him, come in. He's done so many cool things. LA Onoki Dojo. He helped out with Rick Bassman and UPW back in the early day, and right now, this current moment, any NXT more specifically, but even the main roster, I'd say at least 25 upwards % have gone through Dave Marquez and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, or when he was in his NWA affiliate days. So like Buddy said, I think that's going to be good for us to get in there and mix up. And we've already mixed up with a lot of guys from all over the country. You know, we wrestled this really cool tag team, the Regal Twins,
Yeah, those guys are
out of
awesome,
Missouri.
man.
You know, unfortunate. One of them had a knee injury during the match, but I mean, he's going to come back out of it because those guys are studs, and we're gonna hit the loop hard with whatever Dave Marquez gives us to run with.
Yeah, right now we're feuding with the Friendship Express, Jervis, Cottonbelly, and Hobos. So check it out if you guys ever get a chance in San Francisco area, LA. So again, shout out to the San Francisco Wrestling Hollywood. Like those in general, those guys' staff, the production quality in general, from top to bottom, what they do at Championship Wrestling Hollywood, top to bottom, is just one of the best companies you can work for.
Yeah, super professional, and Dave Marquez has a vision, man, and he puts together a great show, and I've been there, I've experienced it. And guys, over the years here, it's been only a couple years in. I mean, what have been some of your favorite guys to work with, whether it's here in NorCal or, like you said, you know, you've been all over the country. I'll start with you, Levi.
I'm gonna shoot this one over to Buddy to start with.
All right, buddy, give it to us.
You know, I just worked with Chris Masters recently. That guy's a cool guy to work with. Reno Scum. Anytime working with those guys is like just a great time. Trying to think right now on top of my head. PP Ray. That was probably one of the funnest matches I've ever had. Ray Rosas, Pierre Avalon. Those guys are awesome to work. Levi, how about you, man? Anyone you think?
I like cruising out. You know, Keepers of the Faith, they're good brothers.
Oh,
those guys, Dom Vitale, Gabe Gallo. Those guys are definitely guys that took me underneath their wing and helped teach me a little bit about the business. So we always like to go and work them. You know, Mosh Pit and Mike Ray Basura, nice guys out of New Mexico. Who's at the Posse?
Oh,
those are the old school
guys. Those guys are cool. As we worked in Tennessee, those guys are cool, man. Those guys are really cool. And again, like Levi mentioned it slightly, these guys called the Regal Twins. One of them's hurt right now, but watch it like in a year or 2 years from now. Watch these guys. These guys are the Regal Twins out of Missouri. Guys are really good, dude. Like really good high flyers. They're twins. Guys are awesome. Check them out.
Yeah, speaking of Missouri, man, I could definitely see you guys fitting in over there. That Midwest, that Harley race kind of, he's got a lot going on out there. What are some of your guys' goals here moving forward? I mean, I could see you doing something in Ring of Honor. I could see you doing something even in Lucha Underground. And, of course, there's NXT, even though they have a similar kind of thing going. But, I mean, I'll start with you, Levi. Can I start with you this time? Yeah. So I'll start with you, man. I mean, what are some of your guys' goals moving forward here?
I think what it is just kind of get the name out there for ourselves a little bit more exposure, more traveling. We want to try to do more wrestling outside of California. Not that we don't like it here. It's just that's the way to get your name out. You know, we want to kind of get our merch sales up. We want to get our name up, our Instagram, our Twitter, all this stuff up. The big one for me, man, is to make that next level, and the term flight guy. I want to become a flight guy. You know what I mean? Yep. And that's it. And that's, you know, of course, the NXT contract, the Japan contract, Ring of Honor shots, all those things, those are all possible too, you know, but taking that next step in my career would be flight, you know, and that's a term I got from Drew Gulak on Cole Cabana's podcast, flight guy, and it just stuck with me because that's a big step that a lot of guys don't understand or willing to take.
Yeah,
you know.
It's scary, man. Like I think it was funny, like when we were like traveling to Florida and Memphis and all these places, like it can kind of be scary, but like I'm glad I have a partner like Levi. Like I definitely, if I wasn't in a tag team, it'd be definitely more nerve-wracking traveling across the world like that. But like Levi said, like that's just the goal, is trying to get our name out there and build the brand. Like we're really trying to build the brand of the Classic Connection. So if it ever moves on, we go to a different ventures, we have something to offer those companies, that this is a brand name, it's brand recognition, and you can make money off it. It's commodity.
And it's funny because, you know, we love each other like brothers, man. The Classic Connection, it's not just a gimmick, bro. We're old souls.
Oh, yeah.
We listen to fucking Otis Redding. We listen to old music. We like, you know, vintage stuff. Yeah, all this. It's literally not a gimmick. It's us turned up to 11. That's why we bond so well. So when we do fly halfway across the state and something doesn't go as planned, one of us is upset. Like, we're counterbalancing each other. You know what I mean? And we're both learning. You know, and that's the point of the brotherhood and professional wrestling. That's the excellence of tag team wrestling.
It's a big thing, man. I've talked with a few guys about this. You know, for me personally, man, Mike Shupe was the guy that I kind of, you know, we started working together, and we were, you know, drinking together and eating together and training together and watching footage together. I mean, it's big to have somebody that is just on board with you and on your team and able to experience all those things with. Levi, tell us about the fanny packs and the Zumbas, man. What do you got going on with that?
All right, man, check this. You see old school, right? There's a video especially called Behind the Bash, right? And it shows the Road Warriors, Lex Luger, Dusty. It shows everybody behind the scenes at the Great American Bash Tour. And if you look at the 80s, what do you see on wrestlers? you see Zubas, you see a fanny pack, and you see tank tops. Preferably Gold's Gym tank tops, yellow, right?
Or Hooters.
Or Hooters tank. I mean, but that's the thing, and that's how it looks. So, although we try to wear suits sometimes to shows, sometimes I don't because I'm lazy, just enough for Levi Shapiro. Sometimes we wear the Zubas, it's a travel clothes and it helps the gimmick because nobody else understands that. I see Zubas around a lot. And I don't think that I was the inception, but I definitely think
something like that is what separates us. I feel from like a team like the Revival, and we've had a couple guys we talked to that have come from NXT or guys that have known the Revival, and they're like, we'll ask them, we'll get insecure, but hey, bro, are we like the Revival? And they'll reassure us like, nah, bro, you guys are from knowing both the teams. Guys will reassure us, like Jody Kristofferson reassures, like, bro, although there's similarities, just knowing you and then getting to know your personality and the character, I think our characters are totally different. Like, we strut, we wear Zubas, we're the fanny pack. In that sense, we're totally different than them. So it just, I think our personality is what makes us really.
Yeah, and Zubas are comfortable as hell.
Yeah.
Like, swear, first pair I ever bought, I put them on, it felt like I've been wearing them for years.
I got to get a pair, man. And yeah, we did bring that up earlier about the Revival, but there's no doubt you guys are your own thing. You've been doing your own thing. It's entertaining to watch. Share a personal story with you guys. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when we had a handicap match about a year ago at the PCW Work Farm, it was me versus you guys, and it was a great time. Man, I challenged you for that Strut Off Championship. There was never a decision, but what happened that night, guys, is the figureheads in PCW came up to me and said, man, that was a really, really good match, and we want to put the belt on you. And they, before that, there was no plan for that. So I seriously credit you guys for going out there with me, putting on that performance that we had, and it impressed a lot of people, and I got a damn championship out of it. So I want to thank you guys for that, man. And yeah, I mean, right now, what do we have coming up here? The month of August, the month of September. I mean, go ahead and plug away, buddy.
We got Premiere tomorrow. You asked me that because you know why? If you asked Levi, he wouldn't know any of his dates because when we have our dates, I have to write them all down. Even if Levi gets a singles booking, I write it down for him, and he'll be like, "Hey, bro, am I booked on this day?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. It's not yours. It's not mine."
I have a loose contact on
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so we got Premiere tomorrow, July 17th. Tuesday, 2 days after that, in Atwater, California, Fighting Spirit Pro. UEW the following Saturday, 23rd, 24th, Championship Wrestling for Hollywood tapings. Hollywood tapings again 2 weeks after that, August 12th.
Action Coast on the 30th.
Action Coast Empire, July 30th. August the 19th, APW will be me and Levi and Jill and Drake versus JR Kratos, MVP, and Jody Kristofferson. That's going to be a hot matchup. And we have PCW again coming up in another month or so. So we're booked up all the way to the end of the month.
We've got many, many stones in the fire, per se.
Yeah, we got some couple things coming up. We're traveling out of state again. We just came back from Florida, trying to get back out there again, coming in the wintertime, some other stuff. So, yeah, just trying to get out there.
Shout out to Fist Combat trying to get wrestling going down in Santa Cruz again. Their venue got shut down for some drastic reasons, but Mikey G's going to get it up, and we're going to go some good stuff down there.
Yeah, shout out to Mikey Gordon, man. I met that guy at a comedy show in Chico. He's a hilarious guy. Best of luck with that. And that APW show you mentioned coming up in August, Marcus Mack is doing amazing things. Yeah. I'm going to try to come check that out.
It's Bay Area Bash going down, I believe, at the Piscataway Event Center, August 19th, Eventbrite, Facebook. You guys got it if you want to come see it.
Check it out.
Yeah, no doubt. And you guys got merchandise, but I want to know this. What championships are the Classic Connection holding right now? Go ahead and list it for me, Levi.
So right now, I think it's honestly it's not too much. It's just the PCW tag titles, and the current reigning by Freebird rule with Donovan Troy, Cauliflower Alley Strut Off champions. But we got, like you said, we got some stones in the fire. Fighting Spirit too. Fighting Spirit Pro Tag Team Champions. But those were just won last month, so we got to make sure we get them shined up nice for the loop.
And right now we're chasing Hobo and Jervis Cottonbelly Friendship Express at Championship Wrestling for Hollywood for those tag titles, so we're on our way to those.
I remember there was a time where you guys literally had like every single tag. It was like the Rick Luxury singles title, but you guys were like the Rick Luxury tag team, have every single title almost in NorCal. And I'll ask you guys one more question here before we head out. Levi, what's been so far your favorite match that you've had in wrestling?
Man, I'm just gonna just to say my singles one before me and Buddy really got together. Hands down to Virgil Flynn, man. Virgil Flynn's top wrestler in almost the West Coast, if not, the entire left half of the U.S. My favorite singles match with him, but tag matches go. It's hard for me to pick specific one. It took me like 10 years to figure out my favorite wrestler was Terry Funk. I like the 2 out of 3 Falls match with the Dealers a lot. I felt a lot of emotion out of that. I liked our first match with the Reno Scum at the University of Reno, and probably that initial match that me and Buddy had with the Suburban Commandos at that Ernie Ball.
Gotcha. And for you, Buddy?
I'd say me and Marcus Carey Lewis singles wise, any match either me and him versus at PCW or me and him at Premiere. And tag wise, just to be different from Levi though, the 2003 Falls match I'd probably say that one too, but to be different, us versus Keepers of the Faith in New Mexico. It was a really fun match.
Dude, I was gonna say that one, but I wanted to leave it for you.
Yeah, that was really good.
All right, well, I'm gonna go with mine on your guys' gimmick here. I remember it was with the Real Dealers here at the Municipal Auditorium, not the 2 out of 3 Falls, but the night where you guys put them over. They beat you guys for the tag belts. I thought it was one of the loudest reactions I've ever heard here in the auditorium. So yeah, man, bright future for you guys, man. It's always great hanging out and talking with you guys. I'll start again here with Levi, man. Go ahead and plug all your social media, man. What do you got going on?
We'll catch us on Facebook at The Classic Connection. Facebook, Levi Shapiro. Twitter, Levi Shapiro. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think if you go facebook.com/21st Century Old School, that'll bring you to the Classic Connection like page.
All right, and Buddy?
Like you said, like the Classic Connection like page is the biggest thing. Buddy Royal on Facebook, at Buddy _ Royal on Twitter, and at Ace Buddy Royal on Instagram.
All right, guys. Well, hey, Buddy Royal, Levi Shapiro, the Classic Connection, one of the best tag teams on the planet. I'm going to continue to preach that. Thank you guys very much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Mitch. I appreciate it, brother, honestly.
Thank you. Give it up for the Classic Connection right there, Buddy Royal and Levi Shapiro. Thank you guys very much for coming on the show. I look forward to seeing what the future brings for you guys, and I know you guys are going to do big things, bro. You got to do big things, bro. And I got to start doing some big things here. It's been a rough and tough 2016. I'm still having some difficulties with my shoulder. It looks like I'm probably going to go the surgery route here in the next month. I'll find out, and I'll definitely update you guys. Surgery is a scary thing for me. I've never been put out or knocked out before. I have been blacked out several times, unfortunately, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother show. We will see how this transpires here with the shoulder. I know that also, the diet and the nutrition and the exercise is just, I've been slacking like crazy, and I really got to get back on it because, it's just, I'm unhappy when I'm not, feeling good about my body. So, it's hard to explain, kind of my whole life I've been a chubby kid and I've never been happy with my body, but especially lately, I just got laid off at my job, so, that really sucks, scrambling financially, but I've been scrambling financially my whole life, so it's nothing new, but definitely got to make some changes, definitely got to do some big things, and we will see what the future brings. I want to thank everyone once again for listening to the show. 10 episodes now, guys. There's a mathematical expression for 10. I don't know it right now, but you can Google it and find out. But it's exciting that I've got 10 episodes in, guys. I'm excited for 20, 30, 40, 50, 100. I really love doing the show. I appreciate everybody that goes to facebook.com/MitchPleasePodcast and gives us a like, gives us a share. And, of course, youtube.com/TheMitchValentine, here, the home of Mitch Please, where you can find every episode and so much more, including wrestling matches, wrestling promos, freestyle raps, and so much other fun stuff here on youtube.com/TheMitchValentine. Also, guys, make sure you get at me on Twitter. I'm right there at that 300 follower mark. Let's get that up, knock that up a little bit. Maybe give me a follow at HeartbreakerMV. Also on Instagram and Snapchat at HeartbreakerMV. Guys, make sure to follow me if you can. Send me some questions, send me some messages. I respond to everybody, and I appreciate any and all feedback and suggestions for this show. And of course, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm talking to you for listening. So right now, we're going to send it over to Donovan Troy to close us out. Take it away, Donovan.
Well, well. Once again, the PCW Tag Team Champions and the 2015 and 2016 Cauliflower Alley Club Strut Off Champions are on the YouTube channel. The must-see YouTube channel of all the YouTube universe. And right now, right here, right now, as you're watching the screen in front of you, the current, defending, undisputed PCW Tag Team Champions are setting an open challenge. Tell them, boys.
You know, son, we're like a fine wine. The longer we go with this tag reign, the better we get. We've been defending these titles up and down the coast. In fact, we're the best tag team going today. Not just west of the Mississippi, not just east of the Mississippi, not just west of the Atlantic, across the whole world.
The whole world.
But that's not it.
No.
The class connection won't stop there. We may have traveled the nation, the U.S., doing what we do best. That may be strutting, or that may be wrestling. But no matter what we do, it won't stop us. So we're going to reach farther than anybody's reached at the current moment. And we're going to seek overseas, perhaps the Orient.
Ooh, I like.
I think we're going to have Donovan make a couple phone calls.
Yeah.
And we're going to make these PCW titles worldwide.
It doesn't matter who we face, though. Either way, they're going to get stretched out. 21st century old school style.
The Playboy Buddy Royal, the unorthodox Levi Shapiro, the voice Donovan Troy. We are the classic connection.